excited, but I'll be honest, it hasn't hit me yet. I I haven't had much time by myself, um, or time alone with the family. So I think that's what's been able to keep me from getting too emotional yet. But I know our guys, man, they were having fun in the locker room. Um, they just were elated. So I mean, obviously when you do something like this, the emotions really heighten. But the "I love yous," the "I'd run a brick through a brick wall for you," this is what it's all about. I mean, it was incredible. And then I heard they were all sitting outside of their hotel rooms because we couldn't. And we gave them a little bit of time to visit with family at a distance with masks, but we had to be very safe. But they were all sitting out in the hallways last night, just singing songs, having a great time. And then it was a quick, we got to get up, test, eat breakfast, and get on the plane to come to Indy. So we really even hadn't had a chance to just meet as a team again. When we were in our team room downstairs for a couple hours, we had our whole travel party, and we had to test again, then eat, then we watched the selection show. So when we come together for the first time, which might not be until tomorrow night, from what I understand, as we're sequestered in our rooms, I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotion, spread.
Wayne, last night your press conference, you look like you're trying to keep it together pretty hard, and you did. But you said at some point you were going to lose it. Did you ever lose it last night at all?
No, and I'm just waiting because I know it's going to happen. But I just really didn't get much. Like, I couldn't go hang out with anybody, but I just was kind of stir crazy and I was rehashing the game, the season. But I know it's going to hit me. I know as I get older, I'm get a little more sentimental. I was honest. I broke down a little bit in my room yesterday afternoon, just thinking about my family, the team, everything we've been through, and, quite honestly, there were times when, I was praying for strength and for guidance to lead these guys, in a way, a positive way, to get them through everything we'd been through. And, so a lot of that stuff kind of came to the forefront, as I started thinking about, preparing for the championship game and how the hell did we get here?
Hey, Wayne, about an hour before tip-off, I had my first vaccine shot. I didn't know a side effect was going to be you guys with a huge win. Congratulations on it.
Thanks, Ron.
What do you think about Tennessee, a first-round matchup?
Well, I'll be honest. The coaches are putting together some scouting reports, but I really don't know much about them. I know Vescovi's a stud. I've got some good friends in Tennessee who have sent me little text scouting report and all kinds of advice. I did see them play a little bit against Florida the other day. I know they like to pressure man and switch everything, but we saw that with UCLA and with Oregon. So it shouldn't be anything new. Now they're going to have some athletes as well, but we'll dive in. The good thing is we've got time. We're going to have a lot of downtime tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we'll be sequestered for at least 3/4 of the day, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the SEC is a very powerful conference, and they've got a great coach in Coach Barnes, and they're going to be strong and athletic.
Wayne, I'm assuming you had some time to meet with your family last night. I'm just curious, did you talk to Trace much? I'm just kind of curious how that went, because you guys always wanted to get to the tournament, and now he's there. He's there to be able to kind of be there with you, but he's not on the team right now. What did that conversation go like?
Yeah, and I did an interview with the Pac-12 network after the game, and thank the families of the players for hanging with us, through some tough times and continuing to believe. And thanked everybody else. And, I said this was for Beaver Nation and all that. I said, but personally, I dedicated that to Trace, from father to son, just for all that he had gone through in his career, helping us, get back there in his freshman year, such a huge part of it. And then to get hurt late and not be able to share in that was tough on him. And then last year, you can say it's easy to say, but I think we were confident we would have followed the similar script, last year, having won that exciting first round game, and then drawing an Oregon team that, was without Duarte. We felt we could have made it happen again. And even 2 years ago, we felt we got jobbed a little bit from going to the NIT. And, Trace worked so hard to try to lead us back to, a place we hadn't been in a while. And he just seemed like things didn't go his way. And, obviously this is this year's team and we've done some incredible things, but I really wanted to share that with him.
Coach, quick question on, you had a couple early losses, or, the Arizona loss, the Portland loss, but when did you really feel that things flipped with this team? Because you could totally see it here in the last, month.
Well, I think it was after the Arizona game at home, no doubt about it. We really had a grinded out 8-hour staff meeting, came in early. We had moved practice back later the next day because of, the game went late against Arizona. And, we were not going at each other and like raising our voices, but really challenging each other as a staff as to what direction we needed to go to turn things around. And we were throwing all sorts of stuff off the wall and varying opinions, and just kind of came out of it at the end. I just said, listen, we've got to teach these guys not just how to have success, but we said they don't know what success is right now. So let's start, from the bottom and just make it simple. And that's where we talked about executing, playing harder than our opponent, and enjoying each other out there. And those three things right there, we told our guys at film that evening before practice, if we would buy into just doing those three things, that it would mean we're successful. And I said, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to win this Saturday or next Tuesday, but it will lead to success eventually. But you guys have to buy into it. And to their credit, they did. And really, other than the game at Colorado, which was a little bit of a fluke too, because it was, the Arizona game, we were missing a couple guys. We had just had a 7-day pause. And then Colorado, we played 2 games at home, get up early next morning, charter to Boulder, play them, late afternoon the next day. And they played really good that night. I think those were kind of aberrations a little bit. And then we just found a way to keep swinging away. And, we got on a nice little roll. And even though we lost the game at home against Oregon, I think that was our last little bit of a wake up call to reel our guys back into getting onto the page of the things that had turned it around. And that's what we mentioned in leading up to the tournament. Like, guys, if you really want to achieve something great, stick to the simple things that help turn the season around. And we reiterated that going into last night's game, that even though this is just because it's the championship, it's Saturday night in the Pac-12 tournament, let's not change how we prepare and how we go about it. And to their credit, they did that by and large. And the buy-in, the guys stopping, the removing of the egos. We played less, I don't want to say selfish, but we didn't have those long stretches of individual play, and then the buy-in to the defensive effort. I think all those things contributed.
Wayne,
What's it been like?
Go ahead.
What's it been like over the last few days just to see all the support and reactions from former players, fans, and everyone else?
It's been incredible. I don't get on social media, so people just kind of tell me that the fans are going nuts, and it's great to see. I know this. We've had some ups and downs, and you hear about the doubters out there. I don't listen to them because the people that are supportive drown those few voices out. But they're always going to be there, and the neat thing is the people that have been in your corner from day one through thick and thin. When they reach out and they share their tears with you and their joy, that's the stuff that really hits home, and makes you happy. And we've got a faithful group, faithful inner circle of supporters, and I'm just so thrilled for them.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about the progression of Alatisha and Andela, and how huge a factor were they in this whole run?
Yeah, they've been huge. In fact, Trace kind of joked, if you get rid of me and you guys go to the tournament, and I kind of said, well, I said, Trace, I think you'd have been all right with Alatisha and Andela in there with you. And they just, their buy-in, Rodrigue's physicality, first of all. He's such a good kid with such a great spirit. He's our most physical presence in there. I mean, he really emerged in the tournament, and then Rodrigue down the stretch, the last several weeks has just gotten more and more consistent. He's gotten us big baskets in the paint, obviously second chance opportunities, and then defensively, he's been a real stalwart for us. And he's still so young with the game and in the game, that his ceiling is really, really high. So we're excited to have him, obviously, and we're going to need him, both those guys, because as our post presence has really come along, it's I don't think it's any surprise that we've played better as a team. And then, how about Maurice Kalu last night? I mean, here's a guy who started a lot of games early on, was relegated to the bench, and his minutes really dropped. And he came in to have a couple of heart-to-hearts, and he just kept staying positive, hanging in there. And it's funny because all year long, as a coach, you try to tell these guys, just stay positive and hang in there. You never know when you're going to get called upon, and you got to have a positive mindset if you're going to help, contribute to our success. And last night was, it was a game we knew would be a good matchup for him, especially when they put Horn in, because they're similar. And he's just got to defend and rebound his position if he wants to play. And he did a better job of that. And then he made a lot of baskets for us.
Wayne, going back to last night afterward, I'm just trying to picture guys sitting outside their hotel room singing. That just seems like maybe about the coolest scene you could envision. Did you recognize any of the songs?
Well, they were actually on the floor above me. So I didn't get to share in it, but my assistant coaches told me. And oh yeah, so for years, I've had a tradition. Whenever we've won on the road, we've played "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" on the bus, and the team has to sing it. And we carried that from Montana to Oregon State. And a quick neat story: when we won at Oregon 2 years ago, I left Matthew Knight with my wife and daughter, and we had ordered food at the Long Branch in Monroe, because we knew that's what the football team did years and years and years ago. Whenever they won in Eugene, they would stop and have a few pops and grab food for the players. And so we had ordered food for the guys, and I got there a few minutes ahead of them, and Sean Scheffler had printed off the words to that song, because some of the new guys didn't know it. And then they walked in and said, "Coach, we've got a surprise for you." And they put it on one of those, portable speakers, and we sang that song in the Long Branch, and it was pretty cool. And so last night, my family broke that out from the stands, and then got Zach Lasseter to have the DJ put it over the loudspeakers. And it was kind of towards the end of all the celebrating, but it was a pretty cool moment. Having our guys sing our theme song from when we get road wins in the middle of T-Mobile after cutting down the nets.
Yeah.
Coach, you guys were ranked the 12th team in the Pac-12 conference coming into this season, and you now have got the 12th seed into the NCAA tournament. Does that have any sort of special meaning or maybe a sign from above for you?
Damn right. Everybody said it as soon as we saw we got the 12 seed. And I think you guys heard the story that Ryan Lawrence, our equipment manager, he and I talked when we got the nice new postseason shooting shirts from Nike. I said, let's put a little something on the inside. I said, is there any way we can just write? I thought he was going to do it with a Sharpie, 12th. And so when they look to see, their initials on it, they'll see that and it'll mean something to them. Well, he ironed it on really nice, orange 12th. Jared Lucas was the first one that noticed it and went nuts. And then that was kind of our rally cry down the stretch. And then when they saw that we popped up as the 12 seed, everybody, it looked like, yep, this is going to mean something special. So we'll keep milking it. We'll keep milking it for sure.
Coach,
Wayne, this is your fifth time you've been to the NCAAs, and they're all different, obviously. But does this one have any feel at all like any of the ones you had at Montana?
It does, from the sense that in a one bid league, you've got to win the tournament to go. And it was really neat the first time we went here at Oregon State because it had been such a long drought. But having to run the gauntlet in the tournament to get that bid is something that's pretty special. And we did it once, I think, as the 2 seed, and then twice as the number 1 seed, and we hosted the tournament at Montana. But this one, and those were some incredible kids and great teams. And we won those championships in different fashions. But for this team to come as far as we had in the kind of year that we've had on and off the court, and then to beat, the 4 seed, the 1 seed, and the 3 seed to do it. I got texts from several head coaches in the league and just saying, what an incredible run. And you guys proved that on this week, you were the best team in the league. And, that means a lot. It means a lot because, that your adversaries are some pretty cool guys, to reach out and say that. But also, when they know that they're pulling for your program, I think because they appreciate and respect the way you do things.
Coach,
Wayne,
looking
this
ahead,
last week,
go ahead, Jesse.
yeah, Wayne, this last week, what maybe did you learn about your team, or possibly was there something that you were uncertain about that your guys kind of confirmed for you?
Well, we knew because we had come back and, from several deficits in other games. The big thing is we learned that the maturity and the growth and all the hurdles that we went through, led to this. But the thing I'm most impressed with, Jesse, is this week, all week long, I just talked about staying loose, freeing your mind. Guys, just free your mind. And if you play hard and play for each other, you're going to play at a level you didn't think you were capable of. And they really bought into that. And just the way they responded to that. And it wasn't like we did anything amazing as a coaching staff. It was just getting them to believe by freeing their minds up and staying together, they could accomplish some great things. Now, the big challenge last night, I was concerned because they had taken care of the first 2 steps to get to the championship. And they wanted to get to that championship. They wanted that opportunity. My concern with our immaturity and youth, was on ESPN, playing for all the marbles. Were we going to revert to some of those moments where we got, a little selfish and get away from what had gotten us to this point, and maybe being a little bit upset when they got subbed out. If they only got a 2-minute rotation instead of an 8-minute rotation, some of the things that caused some frustration at times, not very often, but at times, would creep in just because of the moment. And remember, we only had 2 guys out there that had been in our program for more than a year, and I was really blown away at how they stuck to the plan and they stayed on page with what our plan was to do, and really the plan that had led to so much success in the past. And you're talking about a bunch of sophomores and new guys. Really told me a lot about their character and really their willingness to put the team in front of anything else to achieve the ultimate goal, which is what you say from day one.
Coach, you said that you're not on social media, but Rodriguez had a tweet earlier today, and he talks about, I remembered when I decided to join Oregon State. A lot of people told me I made a bad decision because they aren't good and I won't have a chance to win any titles. Don't listen to what people say, just do you. How then do you take that and what you've built with this team and the success, and then project that forward for keeping this thing going?
Well, I think word is obviously spreading of what our program's about, how we do things, the authenticity and the sincerity of it. And then whenever you get to where you have a season like this, I mean, you can't imagine the amount of recruits and the emails we're getting from prospects, off of this. And then when your players are putting that message out there and others, are reading it, that it's a big boost. And it's like the same stuff that'll make you laugh will make you cry, and you've got to go through some growing pains in order to achieve great things. And that's why I was so quick to thank the families of our current players for their continued support and buy-in through some tough times. And people know our culture, and really the way we do things at Oregon State, it's spreading. So we're going to continue to attract high character guys and talented guys, and continue to, like we've done every year, pretty much, other than the year we were devastated with injuries. We've, seems like, accomplished more and more each and every year. And that's what it's all about, maintaining consistency and, striving for more each and every season.
Coach, was Jocelyn the loudest of the Tinkles up in the stands?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I worried about it after the first game, and I kind of sent a text, just to calm down. And I might have confused her with one of our other rabid fans a few times. But they provided a ton of energy. And somebody told me there was a tweet today that somebody said, they were going to hire her. I don't know, there's that commercial that has a hype man. I don't know what it is, but that if this guy's got to make an 18-foot putt or close a multi-million-dollar deal, he's bringing Jocelyn in to get the energy going. But it sure was neat. It sure was neat. She sent me a text in the middle of the night that I didn't read until I was on the plane. That got me a little misty-eyed. Just talking about, the pride for us and how we do things, and, some of the ways we've had to ride to get to, enjoy something like we did last night.
Wayne, what are the next few days like for you guys? You mentioned you're in your room, I think, until tomorrow. What are you able to do the next couple days?
We can't do any. Once we left our team room after we tested and got into our own rooms, we're on lockdown. So we can't leave. Food's going to be delivered to our door. They knock and leave. Breakfast the same in the morning, and then in the early afternoon we'll go downstairs again to take our second PCR test, and then we have to wait a few hours after that, and then we'll get the thumb up to meet as a team again, and then maybe to start planning when we can get on the court and practice. So our guys, I'm sure, all have Netflix. we're going to let them use the on-demand in their room to watch some movies, and also next week's finals week. So, we've told them to hit the books hard and make sure, that we use these next couple of days where we have a lot of downtime wisely. And then we'll be able to shift to the focus to improving some of the areas we need to, and then putting in the scout for Tennessee.
So maybe Tuesday then you start practicing, or would it be?
Yeah, we're thinking Tuesday we'll be able to get back on the court, which is good after playing 3 days in a row. We need to take a couple of days off. Where'd you guys have us projected? What seed? Let me hear that.
Oh, it was pretty clear it was going to be 12. That's just because 11s are the at large, and I mean, I know your net was so low that I just didn't think they were gonna.
Well, you don't need to turn this into a negative, Nick. I mean, come on.
No, you asked me why. I'm just trying to tell you.
I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm glad you can read through all of that better than me. That's why I don't ever worry about it.
I'll give you this one how's this one for motivation? Oregon State hasn't won a first round game since '82. Is that 6 straight loss?
Well,
that something that
we hadn't been to a championship in 33 years either.
Well, there you go.
I liked the 12.
No.
I had you at 12 too, just because I think I'm a big believer in signs.
And there's always a couple 12-5 upsets every year, and I'm telling you, I don't know what'll happen, but I do know this: our guys won't be scared. I think in the first time we went to play in the NCAA tournament, I don't say scared. We had some guys that let the nerves get to them a little bit. This group's not going to be nervous. They are not going to be nervous. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but this team will not be intimidated. They won't be nervous. I don't know whether that means we'll perform well, but I'll be confident heading into that game with this group, because the 3 teams we just beat on the last 3 nights, weren't slouches. Pretty damn good.
One other thing I was going to ask, I think it's the last 7 games, you guys have shot 49%, I think, from the floor. I mean, you obviously got some capable shooters, but what do you know what kind of triggered that maybe?
I stepped away from coaching the offensive side and shifted my focus to the defensive side, and had Sean Scheffler step in and start coaching the offense.
I said 49, not 19.
Oh. No, we just, what it comes down to? We've been fighting our guys for so long to establish a post presence. And it doesn't have to be a guy getting 26, and I think by them finally buying into that, we've gotten production in there, and then it's freed up our shooters, and then we've turned up our defense, and we've been able to get out and turn some defense into offense. I think that's what's really helped. Now, I'll be honest. What did we score against Oregon?
Shoot, I can't remember.
Was it 75? Was it 75, 64?
75.
And I think in our 2 games against Colorado in the regular season, I think we averaged 56, and we scored over 70 on them. 80 against UCLA when we struggled to score, even though there was overtime. Our guys are more confident. We're more balanced, and we're turning some defense into offense, and that's going to be a key on Friday as well. We can't face a knock you down, drag you out, half court defense for 40 minutes.
All
Anything
right.
else, gang?
I think I'm good for now.
Just let
Thanks,
Sean
Coach.
know, and if you guys want to do something again on Thursday, I don't know that I'll have anything new for you, but I really appreciate the relationship with you guys and how positive you keep things, even when it's tough to find positive things to say. So we'll be here for you.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks. Wayne.
Okay. Have a
Thanks,
great night.
Wayne.
Thanks,
Go
Wayne.
Briefs.
Thanks, Coach.